Hey everyone, my name is Andrew Liu and I'm one of the general managers here at Sunnyside Paddling Club, and we just want to welcome you guys to the 2022 season here at Sunnyside. This is our second year running the storage compound here, or the public storage compound, and we'll just show you today how to get in and kind of where to look for your spot and just general safety stuff. So there are 3 gates, and you'll get a Bluetooth invite. So you do need a smartphone to get in. All of the gates have a what's called an Igloo Home smart lock, and again, you'll get an invite. Okay, so there are 3 gates here, and they go from west to east. So gate 1, gate 2, and gate 3, and you'll be given the gate that's closest or most accessible to your boat. Each gate has what's called an Igloo Home Lock, and you'll receive a Bluetooth invite by email or by text message, but most likely by email to your inbox, and you have to accept that invite within an hour. So we'll arrange times for you to accept your Bluetooth lock. Occasionally these locks do get jammed, so you will have to call us. Con and I have personal cell phones that you can call us in event of emergency that you can't get in. So you can give us a shout there if you have any problems getting in. So to get in, you just bring your phone up to about this distance or as close as you want, and you will press the lock button on your app, and then this lock will blink and it'll also make an audible sound, and then you just pull on it once you hear that sound. After you've opened the lock, make sure to keep it locked, or make sure that it's hanging and it doesn't fall. If sand does get into the lock, it could be game over, so try not to drop it. Okay, so once you're into the compound, then there are a couple of racks, and they are numbered. So this from west to east, kind of, for the major racks. So rack 1 is here, rack 2 is over here, rack 3 is our canoe rack, rack 4 is our sup rack, and we have another 2 racks. So each rack generally has, these are kind of scaffolding tubes, aluminum, so they don't rust. Their outside diameter is 1.9 inches, so from here to here. So generally, to protect your boats from just rubbing directly on it, you can install pool noodles, which you can get from any hardware store, and you just slice it in half, and then you can duct tape it around the aluminum tube. You can also get PVC tape from any plumbing store or any hardware store, and then that will also, you can wrap that around the pool noodle, and that way it provides more of a slick surface for your boat to rub across. And yeah, so generally try and do that on your first day or before you bring your boat in. And another good idea is just to lock your crafts to the scaffolding. Generally, we haven't had any issues with thefts here. It's always a good idea, though, that anyone that is coming in here are most likely partiers or like drunk people or anything, so they're generally not prepared. So our goal, I think, or all of our goals, is just to prevent our crafts from being taken out for a quick joyride against people that aren't prepared. If people are prepared to come in, then no one's boat is really safe, to be honest. So just want to make it so that your craft is the least difficult to steal, and most likely you're good to go. So just try and bring any type of cable lock here to lock your craft. This is an example of a really expensive cam strap lock. So this is made by Thule, and this person here has obviously a lock here, and so these are for craft that don't have somewhere where you can anchor it to, and this is really heavy duty stuff. It's generally, I think I've seen around like $80, so it's pretty expensive, but that's one way to secure and keep your boat strapped to the scaffolding. And this is a good way to keep your craft secure. So we just showed, so this is a cam lock or a cam strap, and these are good enough for you to keep your boat from flying away in the wind. And generally you wrap it around one side, and then you wrap it around the other side, and then you strap it down on one side. So make sure you loop it around both sides and then loop it around and then tie it down. So that's one way. You can also use bungees, thick ones. You can get that from Princess Auto or again Canadian Tire. And those will also be able to secure your boat from flying around in the winds. Okay, so in terms of safety on the water, it's obviously really cold right now. The water temperatures are about like 5 degrees right now. So it's really important that you wear the appropriate gear. We aren't responsible for stuff that you do on the water, but it is generally a good idea to wear the right and have the right equipment on board your vessel as you can, and some people have been pulled over by the marine police. So not just not getting a ticket, but also in general, just for your own safety. In terms of safety gear, the main things that you should have is a flashlight. You should also have a tow line and also a bailer. So this kit here, this orange kit, I think it's like around $10, and also a whistle as well. And it's available at Canadian Tire or any other hardware store. But you should definitely have this on board. If you have something like a stand-up paddle board or an open top like kayak, then you don't need a bailer, but you might as well just kind of get the whole thing. You also need a life jacket on board your vessel at all times. You don't have to wear it necessarily, but especially in cold water, it's good to have it on. And probably an extra paddle depending on your craft as well and how far you're going. But yeah, those things, this kit and your life jacket are mandatory. Okay, so there are generally about 5 levels to each rack. I would say racks 1 to, or rows 1 to 4 are easily accessible for most people, but rack 5 is definitely pretty high, and that's typically over 7 feet. So if you do need to get your craft and you're on top level, so rack 5 generally, then you'll need a step ladder, and the step ladder is very stable, but you do need to drag it, as I've done here, to move it around the compound. And this is the pavilion entrance. So there's the compound over there, and this is our pavilion entrance, and it has a similar setup. It has there are washrooms and change rooms in there, which are open only during certain hours.